Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and get started with the caveat that maybe some will jump in and join us a little bit late here. So just some quick introductions first. So my name is Allison Fine. I am the executive director and founder for the Center for Chronic Illness. And I'd like to introduce as well Bill King, who is the operations manager with HeyPeers. And then also Alice Allen Redfin, who is our brand new social work MSW student from the University of Washington. All right, so we're going to get started here. So I just want to do a very quick overview of the Center for Chronic Illness, and then the majority of the time that you're here today is going to be learning how to get set up on our new HeyPeers platform. So for those of you who are familiar with the Center for Chronic Illness, we've been using a platform called Support Group Central, and that platform, that company, I should say, is now working with HeyPeers, and they've developed an updated platform and will hopefully be easy to use and a nice opportunity for you all to be able to join virtual support group meetings. So again, just a little bit about CCI. We're a small nonprofit organization. We've been around for about 5 years. We're based in Seattle, Washington. Pre-COVID-19 pandemic, we were hosting support groups in person and may go back to doing some of that. But since 2018, we've also been hosting virtual support groups. We're, again, very small staff. It's myself and Alice. We also have a board of directors and support group facilitators, and we have some other students as well that periodically help us out with things. But the general goal of the Center for Chronic Illness is to offer free, professionally facilitated support groups and health education programs to anybody living with any kind of ongoing health challenge, but also those who are loved ones of those with health challenges. And I think I maybe mentioned this already, all of our programs are free of cost. And so, just quickly, our mission, so our goal is really to promote well-being and decrease isolation for those impacted by ongoing health challenges through support and education. At the Center for Chronic Illness, our goal is really to create safe spaces for people to come together and share with one another about the health challenges that they're experiencing and how those challenges impact their lives. So we offer currently 14 different support groups. So we have some general ones for patients and loved ones, like our living with chronic illness groups. We have some kind of skill-based groups around living mindfully and creativity in chronic illness that teach kind of strategies for managing chronic illness. We have groups for parents who have children living with chronic health challenges, as well as a new teen support group that we recently started for teens ages 15 to 17. And then we also, during the pandemic, started a support group for those living with ongoing symptoms as a result of COVID. And in addition to that, we offer a bunch of rare support groups. So some of the rare disease support groups are for patients who live with rare disease, and pretty much anybody with any of the 7,000 plus rare diseases and that are out there can join us for those groups. And then we also offer a couple of rare specific support groups for patients living with cystinosis and their loved ones, as well as patients living with urea cycle disorder and their loved ones. And then recently we started our first BIPOC support group. So we're offering a support group for African Americans and Black identifying individuals living with chronic illness. And then this fall, we're also hoping to begin our first Spanish speaking support group for Hispanic Latinx individuals. And then finally, we do some health education programs that are a little bit separate of our support group programs and not hosted on the HeyPeers platform. But if you are on our email list, you'll probably hear about some of these other kind of one-time, come and hear someone talk about a certain topic related to chronic illness programs. So we don't have another one scheduled yet, but I'm hopeful that our MSW students such as Alice will be involved in implementing our next one. So stay tuned for that. And then finally, here's some social links. Alice will put those in the chat as well. Looks like she also put the link for our quarterly e-newsletter, so you're welcome to sign up for that. We love to have people following along with what we're doing, outside of just attending support groups. So we try to share different articles and things online related to chronic illness, provide some education and support there as well. Then finally, there's our contact information. I'll have Phil put that up again at the end. But that's just a little bit about the Center for Chronic Illness. You're welcome to reach out to us with questions anytime. We're a really small organization, so I work 2 days a week, and we have Alice for 8 hours a week, and so we don't always get back to folks immediately, but we are always happy to hear from you and happy to answer any questions that you have. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Phil, and Phil, you can jump in with sharing a little bit about the HeyPeers platform.
Wonderful. Thank you, Allison. I'll just do a quick mic check. Thumbs up. Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay. Excellent. Wonderful. It's so good to be with you all. As Allison said, my name is Phil King. I'm the operations manager with HeyPeers, and it's a great privilege and honor to help CCI transition over to our brand new platform, which you can currently see on screen, heypeers.com. When you first click into the website, heypeers.com, which I hope Alice will be able to put into the chat, this is what you're going to be greeted with, a brand spanking new support group website. I'm going to walk you through 3 different things today. First thing, I'm going to walk you through how you subscribe to the HeyPeers website, and specifically for the CCI organization, so that you can access all of your CCI organization meetings. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to register for one of those meetings. Once you're subscribed, once you're signed up on HeyPeers, how you actually join a meeting. And thirdly, if you do have any immediate questions or concerns, one of the benefits that we have with HeyPeers is we have a new knowledge base courtesy of our partnership with Zendesk. And I'm going to show you how to access that and how to reach out to us for support if you do have any questions or concerns. So without further ado, this is the page that I'm looking for. So Alice is going to put into the chat a specific link, and this is specifically for you to sign up to use a HeyPeers account, and subscribe to CCI at the same time. So I'm going to just walk through this process with you nice and quickly. So I'm going to put in my email address, which okay, I'm going to put in my first name and my last name, and I'm going to choose a username as well. So okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that is available. So I'm going to input a password then at this point. So I'm use one of my regular passwords, and then right down at the very bottom, just before you click on create my account, you will have the I have read the terms and conditions. Please just go ahead and do that. And before I go any further as well, I sort of jumped this a little bit, but we would really encourage you, please, you do have the option of signing up using your phone number. We would highly encourage you to please use your email address so that we can get communications out to you quicker, and so that Allison and Alice are also able to communicate with you in a much more timely manner. So I'm going to click on create my account. There's a little pop-up there that says you've been successfully registered. And look at this, I've got a little bit more information. This is what we now call a subscriber form. So I'm going to fill this out. This is specifically for the CCI organization. So once you've registered for your account on HeyPeers, you then get to choose to subscribe or to submit this information for CCI. So anything that you see with a little red asterisks, those are the required fields. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this out as much as possible, just so that you can see. Everyone's going to know my birthday. That's all right. Hopefully get more birthday cards that way. Who knows? And in case Alison didn't tell you, I'm coming from Ireland. So I am going to put in Joe blogs. I'm going to put in a different number, but of course, if you do want to have an emergency contact and an emergency contact number, please do fill this in. 818-888-8888. Sounds good to me. This is where you would fill in your address, and I'm going to just leave that blank for the moment. But again, if you feel, please feel free to update that information there And again, there's a disclaimer right at the very bottom, very similar to the terms and conditions. And again, highly encourage you, if you're signing up for HeyPeers, I encourage you to read those terms and conditions. But there's a little disclaimer here right at the very bottom, just before you click on save and then get subscribed to CCI as an organization. So I'm going to click on this, encourage you to read that through in its entirety. Click on save. There is a state that is required. So I'm going to put in my old American address then, if that's the case. Application state is required. This is not. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Congratulations. And you'll get this little pop-up that comes up on screen. Center for Chronic Illness says upgrade your account for free. That just confirms that you have access and have successfully subscribed to the Center for Chronic Illness. Wasn't that easy? I'm gonna stop there. Pause very briefly. Alice, do we have any questions in the chat at the moment? Please feel free to pop those in. Happy to answer them at this point.
There are no questions so far in the chat.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm obviously doing an excellent job, and no one's going to have any problems at all whatsoever registering for a HeyPeers account. This is great. Love to see it. Okay, this is what you're going to see when you log into HeyPeers now. So you'll go to heypeers.com, and I'll just very briefly go over to this screen here. Whenever you want to log in to HeyPeers, right in the very top right-hand corner here, you can see me sort of hovering over it a little bit, is the login button. So you'll be clicking into that, and then you will use your username and the password that you set up when you set up your account, and boom, you'll be into your account at this point. So I'm going to just very quickly, once you log in, this is where you're going to land. This is what we call our choose your destination page. Now, there's a couple of different ways that we can register for me, but I'm going to show you the quickest way that I know specifically to register for CCI meetings. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to click into support organization. And you can see a bunch of my organizations here. So I'm going to go back to, you would see, you would click on here, click on to more, and you would get to that page that we just landed in a couple of moments ago, where you have a little bit about us, you have contact information, you have a resource library. All of this is going to be new to you, or some of it is going to be new to you, and I'm going to explain how you get the most out of our help desk, our knowledge base, so that you're able to grasp all of this. But once you're logged in, and once you want to register for a meeting, you get to this page, organizations, which is the Center for Chronic Illness, and you scroll down, and hey, look, we've got a parenting cystinosis support group. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I do apologize if I'm not. There's a big button here that says register. We're going to click into that, and look at that. We've registered successfully for that. Now, if you're wondering, where do I go once I need to join my meeting? Let's say it's July the 20th at 10:30 p.m. Irish Standard Time. It's obviously going to be, I think, 3:30 or 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we haven't changed the times for any reason at all whatsoever. Right up in the very top right-hand corner, you'll see there is a button that says account, and there's a little drop-down arrow. If you click onto that and you click my meetings, you can see all of the meetings that I'm registered for. And when it's time for you to log into your meeting, so about 30 minutes to 50 minutes prior to your meeting, you will have the option here on this page to join your meeting. You're also going to get an email notification as well to confirm that you've been registered for this meeting, and you'll also have access details at that point. All of CCI meetings at this point in time on HeyPeers are going to be held on Zoom. We do have our own in-browser technology, but CCI have opted to host all of their meetings on Zoom for the time being. So again, I'm going to pause there for registering for a meeting and joining a meeting. Alice, any questions in the comments?
No questions, Phil. I think you're doing a good job.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Let's see. I need to go to here, and I need to show you how to get to our help. So The very last thing I'm going to walk you through is our Zendesk knowledge base. So you're going to come up with a bunch of questions potentially, hopefully not. Hopefully I've done such a good job that you're not going to have any at all whatsoever. But if you do, we do have something for you, and that is our knowledge base. So again, right up in the very top right hand corner, once you've logged in, you'll click on account, and then you'll be able to click on what we have here is help. And hopefully if this works in as the way as I wanted it to, you will be brought to our knowledge base. And this is a site that contains a bunch of tutorials and articles about how to access and how to use all the various different parts of our website. So let's say, for example, that you want to unregister for a meeting. Well, most of you who are going to be joining CC are going to be what we would call users. So you're going to click into HeyPeers users. And look at that, there's an article right here that says how to unregister for me. I'm going to click into that. And there's a little bit of text and some screenshots, and you just follow the instructions here and you should be good to go. However, if there are any other issues, and if you're still struggling with your particular question or concern, right down at the very bottom here, you'll see there's a little blue button that says help. I'm going to click on that, and a little pop-up comes up that says leave us a message. So what you would do is you would put in your name. So I'm going to put in, okay, I'm going to put in my email address, which is not that one. Come on, there we go. And I'm just going to do a quick test message. You can add an attachment. So if you have a screenshot of the particular issue that you're facing, maybe you're having difficulty logging in, maybe you experience an error message on the HeyPeers site, you can take a screenshot and upload that here, and you can click on send. And then one of our customer success team will be with you, and we guarantee an initial response within no more than 24 hours in most cases. So if you do have any issues, questions, queries, comments, or concerns, that's where you go. Those are the real basics of how to get up and running on HeyPeers. Alice, any questions, queries, comments, or concerns? No?
Not in the chat, but if anybody wants to unmute and just shout out a question.
I actually have a question, Phil.
Go ahead, Alison.
Sometimes we'll have people email us, or at least this happened on the Support Group Central platform, and they'll say, trying to get into my account and I'm locked out and I have want to join the meeting tonight or something like that. Is there any kind of like real time or like quicker help than like the 24-hour messaging system?
That's a really good question, Alison. And I do want to thank you for bringing that up because we're a relatively small organization, but we have expanded as a customer success team. So we have 3 staff who are manning our customer success throughout the day. So typically, you should actually receive a response to your question, query, comment, or concern within a significantly shorter period of time than 24 hours. So again, you can email us at support@heypeers.com. That's another way that you can get access, or you can head over to the help page and click on that little blue button down in the very bottom right-hand corner, and that will also be able to get you connected in with us. And if someone happens to be live on Zendesk at the time that you're submitting, it's not just going to send an email to us. We're going to actually be able to chat with you live as well. So it may well be the case that someone is trying to log in and our staff happens to be online and you might have a locked password, for example. We'll be able to help you out in real time rather than you just having to leave an email and then wait for us to get back to you. So, any other questions?
I'll add one more thing if there aren't any other questions at the moment. We are in the process of transitioning from Support Group Central to the HeyPeers platform. And so up until the end of day, July 18th, all of our groups will still be held on Support Group Central. So if you want to join a group in the next 2 weeks and aren't sure how to do that, email us at the email info at the Center for Chronic Illness.org that Alice put in the chat. And, we'd be happy to set you up there. But starting July 19th, all of our support groups will be on the new platform, and we are just going to be in the process over the next week or so, making sure all the meetings are scheduled for the next 6 months. So we try to go in twice a year and schedule for 6 months in advance of all the group meetings. So if you've attended groups in the past and you're not seeing one there that you're used to attending, give us a few days and check again, and you should be able to see it on the platform.
Any other questions? I obviously did a great job. Pat myself on the back with that, so that's great. Of course, if you do have any questions after the fact, there are potentially things, for folk that are joining, not live, who are watching this afterwards. Again, best place to go is to the knowledge base, or to send us an email at support@heypeers.com. We'll be happy to help you out.
Great. And thank you so much, Phil, for your help today and walking us through the platform. And thank you, Alice, for answering our chat box and sharing all the links there. Again, folks, you're welcome to reach out to us at the Center for Chronic Illness at the contact information that's on the screen and in the chat box anytime, whether it's related to the Support Group Central or HeyPeers platforms or anything else related to what we do at CCI. You're welcome to reach out. What else? That was all I was going to say. Well, we really appreciate you joining us today, and we hope to see you in some virtual support group meetings. And yes, have a great day.
All right. Thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.